The Whippet's name was Vesper, which means evening, which suited her. She was 3 years old, 27 pounds, and had always done things quietly. Not shy, present, engaged, fully attentive, but conducted in low registers. She did not bark at visitors. She did not pace. She communicated through position. Where she placed herself in a room told you everything about what she was thinking. The family had learned to read it the way you learn to read any consistent language. The baby, their son Eli, was 7 weeks old when the nightly movement began. Vesper slept on her bed in the corner of the master bedroom. This had been her arrangement for 3 years. She was there when the lights went off and there when they came on in the morning. Predictable. Part of the room's furniture. On the 3rd night after bringing Eli home, Vesper was gone in the morning. Mara Johansson found her in the hallway, the 6-foot stretch of hallway between the master bedroom door and the nursery door, lying with her chin on her paws, facing the nursery, in the specific, alert rest posture of an animal that is not fully asleep. Mara brought her back to her bed. The next morning she was in the hallway again, night after night, always the same position, always facing the nursery, always there when morning came, having made no sound, having disturbed nothing. On night 11, Mara had come out at 2 in the morning for a feed. She had seen Vesper in the hallway and thought she was there because she was cold, or because the room was too warm, or because she preferred the carpet. She had given it a comfortable explanation and gone back to bed. If you stay for stories about what animals sense before we do, you're in the right place. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. On night 15, Mara came out at 2, and something felt different. Not Vesper. Vesper was in her position, chin on paws, facing the nursery. What was different was a faint smell in the hallway. Barely there, almost nothing. She went to the nursery. Eli was in his crib. His breathing was slightly different, not alarming, but not normal. She picked him up. He was slightly warmer than he should have been. She checked his temperature, 101.6. She called the nurse line. The nurse asked about the fever's onset and sent them to be seen. Bronchiolitis, early stage. The attending physician said, "You caught it early." She said the window for intervention in early bronchiolitis was meaningful. She asked what had prompted the 2 a.m. check. Mara said, "The dog was in the hallway and something felt different." The physician said, "Whippets are sighthounds, but their olfactory function is significant, more than most people realize for the breed." She said, "An infant's respiratory chemistry changes before a fever becomes clinically measurable." She said something was different in that hallway because something was different in that room. Has your pet ever done something that made no sense until it was the only thing that made sense? Tell us in the comments. These stories deserve to be heard. Eli came home on day 2. Vesper met the carrier at the door, performed her assessment, and returned to the master bedroom. She slept on her bed that night. She has slept on her bed every night since. For 14 nights she had been in the hallway. On night 15, she had communicated something through the language she had: position, presence, the specific quality of still attention that Mara had learned to read over 3 years and had almost talked herself out of reading on night 15. Every guardian deserves to be recognized, even the ones who never asked for anything in return. If stories like this matter to you, subscribe so you never miss the next one. She had not barked. She had not scratched. She had not made a single sound in 14 nights of sustained watching. Mara thinks about this often. She thinks about a dog that speaks entirely in where it puts itself and what it means to finally be fluent in that language. The next story involves a dog who changed his behavior around his owner's hand for 3 weeks before anyone thought to have the hand examined.